On August 14, 1947, a new nation was born. And several weeks later, the infant country, Pakistan, took its place among the free governments of the world in the family of United Nations. Carved out of the subcontinent of India, Pakistan ranks 5th in population among the countries of the world. Its land area is split into 2 non-contiguous geographical units in the eastern and western sections of what had been Britain's Indian Empire. For thousands of years, even before the time of Alexander the Great, the Khyber Pass has been the traditional gateway to the subcontinent. Today, this ancient route of the invader leads to the border of the free nation of Pakistan. Centuries before the birth of Christ, the Khyber Pass was one of the most important trade routes between Central Asia and India. Caravans still traverse the passage in much the same manner as they did 2,000 years ago. Along the route, fortified villages offered secure shelter to travelers who were under constant threat of attack by marauding tribesmen. Most of the traveling bands that set out to make the difficult trip across the craggy defile were usually well loaded with goods that could bring a considerable price once their destination was reached. As elsewhere in Asia, religion has been a dominant influence in the area which is now Pakistan. After the creation of the new Muslim nation, believers in Islam poured in from India in great numbers. And today, of the 80 million inhabitants of Pakistan, 68 million are Muslims. The people of Pakistan represent a variety of racial stocks. Present-day Pakistanis may trace their ancestry back to Indo-Aryan, Semitic, Mongol, and Dravidian peoples. The average Pakistani is today a swarthy, stocky person. The rugged life in the northwest frontier province has made the Pathans somewhat heavier in build and tougher than their neighbors to the south. The bearing of the frontier Pathans is proud and resolute, and they are regarded as one of the sturdiest peoples alive today. But throughout most of Pakistan, the people lead a less vigorous life. The great majority of Pakistanis live in rural areas. Their daily pattern of existence varies little from the life of their ancestors on the same land generations ago. Throughout Pakistan, most Muslims still dress in the traditional manner. In each locality, there are slight variations in styles, but even urban Pakistanis resist any attempt at westernizing their attire. Some women still cover themselves from sight with the ancient burqa. Everywhere, the face of this young nation today gives evidence of its religious heritage, from which the country derives its strength and unity. But the 20th century has made its mark on Pakistan. Karachi Airport, one of the largest airfields in Asia, is a regular stop on the airline schedules of 7 nations. Pakistan, no longer a remote region, is now only a matter of hours from the capitals of Europe. The effects of this link with the world at large are most noticeable in the streets of Karachi, capital city of the young nation. Here, the ancient traditions and customs of the Orient are mixed with modern Western innovations. Seat of the government of Pakistan, Karachi is the hub of an actively functioning democratic state. For Pakistan today is a forward-thinking nation. In the new age of enlightenment, Pakistan's achievements and problems are broadcast to all parts of the land. No longer must Pakistanis be uninformed of their country's development and place in international affairs. Even in the field of journalism, Pakistan has a rich background to draw on and a firm tradition to uphold. In an age in which propaganda is triumphing over truth in many parts of the world, Pakistan boasts complete freedom of the press. But these freedoms have not been easy to achieve. Pakistan's history to date has been far from smooth. When Muhammad Ali Jinnah took over the leadership of the country as the first Governor General, there were many serious problems to be faced. The task of rehabilitating the masses of Muslims who had migrated to Pakistan was second in importance only to the deteriorating political relations between Pakistan and neighboring India, also freed from British rule. The open hostility between India's Hindus and Pakistan's Muslims made the new Muslim nation's first years very difficult ones. Most vital problem for Pakistan's leader was the defense of the country's borders. The infant nation had to be prepared against attack at any moment. Pakistan's very existence depended largely on adequate military strength, should the dispute with India assume uncontrollable proportions. Well-trained and equipped, the Pakistan Army remained ready to fight immediately should an aggressor threaten the freedom of the country. To support a military force considered adequate by the government, Pakistan must spend 62% of its national budget. To keep its army well schooled in techniques of modern warfare, Pakistan has retained the services of a number of senior British Army officers. These officers have a thorough knowledge of the problems of warfare in that type of country. As a second line of defense, Pakistan has encouraged volunteers